library families. It's Kathleen from the Bozeman Public Library here for a story time about gratitude. Now some people might say, what is gratitude? Well, it's just being thankful for things we have and looking at things in a way that's positive, and instead of thinking, oh, I'm so upset I don't have that, we're just thankful for what we have. Thanksgiving is coming up next week, so this is a perfect time for us to talk about gratitude. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday, and I've got some ideas for families on ways for kiddos to get involved in talking about gratitude and looking at their own lives and pointing out some things they're grateful for. So we're going to start with, let's start with, where'd my book go? There it is. Let's start with this. This book is called Around the Table That Grandpa Built. Now look at that, it looks like they're having some food and they're around the table together. That's kind of like Thanksgiving, isn't it? This book is written by Melanie Heiser Hill and it's illustrated by Jamie Kim. And we always have to thank our publisher, who is Candlewick Press. Thanks for letting me read this to my friends. All right, let's start. I'm gonna come down here so it's nice and big. There we go. This is the table that Grandpa built. These are the sunflowers picked by my cousin, set on the table that Granddad built. These are the napkins sewed by Mom, surrounding the sunflowers picked by my cousins, set on the table that, can you do that last part? Grandpa built. You guys can help me with that last part. These are the plates, red, orange, and yellow, that go with the napkins sewed by Mom, surrounding the sunflowers picked by my cousins, set on the table that Granddad built. These are the glasses from Mom and Dad's wedding. Set by our plates, red and orange and yellow, that go with the napkins sewed by Mom, surrounding the sunflowers picked by my cousins, set on the table that Granddad built. Oh, these are the forks and spoons and knives, gifts from gifts from Dad's grandma long ago. Placed by the glasses from Mom and Dad's wedding, set by our plates, red, orange, and yellow, that go with the napkins sewed by Mom, surrounding the sunflowers picked by my cousins, set on the table that Granddad built. This is the squash that took over our garden. These are the potatoes and peppers we roasted, and these are the beans overflowing in the bowl. Oh, this is a stack of toasty tamales. These are the samosas, spicy and hot. And this is the rice pudding we have every year. It's a tradition, isn't it? This is the bread still warm from the oven that Gran baked. This is the butter made by us kids, and this is Dad's huckleberry jam. Mmm. And here are the pies. I made this one myself. For these hands we hold, for tasty good food, for families and friends, for grace that is given and love that is shared, we give thanks. Around the table that Granddad built. That's a happy family. Looks like they're having a nice Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe it's just a family dinner. They don't really say. But it makes us think about things we're thankful for, doesn't it? And not everybody in the world has such a big bounty of food, a big lot of food and different foods. Some people don't have that much food. So when Thanksgiving comes around, I'm always really thankful for how lucky we are to have great food, and it's easy to buy, it's nearby, we don't have to travel long distances, and it's healthy and clean food. Not everybody has that in the world. And that made me think of this book. This book is called What the World Eats. We have this in the children's library, and the most wonderful thing about this book is that it shows what a family in different parts of the world eats for 1 week. So it gives us an idea of how other people live and how other people cook their food and eat their food. You can certainly check this out from the library, and I'm going to show you some pictures from it. First, I wanted to show you the United States. This is a family in Texas, and this is what they eat in 1 week. Look at all that food. You might recognize some things. That's a lot of food, isn't it? And then look back here, there's all sorts of things over here. Looks like it's a mom and a dad, and maybe a grandma and 2 kiddos. 1 week's worth of food. Now, we're gonna go all the way around the globe. Or not, yes, we'll go all the way around the globe. Let's see, what's next? I'm gonna show you Chad. Chad is located in Africa, which is this country right here. Africa's the red, and Chad's this little red spot, way on the other side of the globe. Here is what a family in Chad eats for a week. This family is named the Obur Bakars. Look what they eat for a week. That's very different. Look how little water they have to drink. Look at their home they live in. Very, very different from how we live, isn't it? And this is current day. I believe this book was it's probably 10 years old, so not too long ago. That's their food for 1 week. Let's see, I've got another one to show you. Oh, this is Ecuador. Ecuador is down in South America. Right there, here's the United States where we live, and you travel down, Ecuador. This is the Ames family. They live in Tingo. Here's what they eat for a week. Look at their family. Maybe these are all the children, and that's the dad and the mom and more kids. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. 7 kids and 2 adults to eat. Do you see some foods that you recognize? I see some bananas. Maybe these are carrots, maybe potatoes. Yeah, that's Ecuador. Let's see what else I have. Oh, I have another South American country. This is Guatemala, the Menendez family. Here's what they eat for 1 week. Whoa, look at the size of those carrots. I recognize a lot of these foods. Don't you? Is that tomatoes or apples, potatoes? I wonder if it's some kind of grain, maybe a rice. I'm gonna guess that's the mom, the dad, and all their children. That's 1 week of food for them. So, should we do one more? Let's do Kuwait. Or how about Japan? Japan is an island to the west of where we live. This is a Japanese family, and what they eat for 1 week. Looks like a mom and a dad and 2 girls. 1 week. Boy, they eat a lot of fish and vegetables, and then all these little things down here, little packaged things. You can see that their Japanese language is very different than ours. But I just love this book. It's so interesting to look at. Okay, let's do another story. Oh, I love this one. It's called Last Stop on Market Street. And do you see those medals? 1, 2, 3. This has won Caldecott Honor. That means for the beautiful pictures. John Newbery Medal. That's for the story. And the Coretta Scott King Award, talking about peace and change for the positive. This is written by Matt De La Pena and pictures by Kristen Robinson. And our publisher for this book is Putnam and Sons. You may remember Kristen Robinson came here a few years ago to our Children's Festival of the Book. It was really fun to meet him. All right, let's start our story. Okay, here we go. So the main character in this book is CJ. Here he is, and his grandma. Looks like they're coming out of church maybe on a Sunday. CJ pushed through the church doors and skipped down the steps. The air outside smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under the Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus and all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big tree drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. Do you see the straw? That's right here, the tree. You know, they soak up from the soil. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on the flower petals. He watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in and gave CJ a wave and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" Oh, he'd really like a car, wouldn't he? Listen to what his Nana says. "Boy, what do we need a car for? We've got a bus that breathes fire, and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." How do you think it breathes fire, the bus? Look at that, there's a dragon. Maybe that's how. The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. He's getting on, isn't he? Oh. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure that CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Kobe never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglasses man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side. He watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses, too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. What do you think it meant when she said some people watch the world with their ears? If you can't see, you use your other senses to feel the world around you. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. I think she's talking about the phone with the headphones and the music. "What for? You've got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask that man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking his strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered, "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. Oh, I love this picture. Look at that. That's how he's feeling. What do you think that feeling is? Happiness, joy. And in the darkness, that's when he's closing his eyes, the rhythm lifted CJ out of his bus and out of the busy city He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves. He saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky. Saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm, and CJ dropped it in the man's hat. He's giving him some money for playing. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. Looks like CJ and his Nana are getting out. Wonder where they're going. Here they are. See where they're going. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti tagged windows, this is graffiti, and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. I think to me that means when you don't have a lot, you have to be grateful for what you have, like the beautiful sky, and you can see beauty everywhere. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arching over the soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beauty where he never thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the walls. Did you hear that word, soup kitchen? Soup kitchen is a place you go when you don't have a lot of money to buy food, and the soup kitchen gives you a free meal. Here they are in line at the soup kitchen. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. Those are all his friends. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. Can you find Nana and CJ? She patted him on the head and told him, me too, CJ. Now let's go on. So all these people are eating their meal, but look who's serving the meal. CJ and his grandma, they're helping to serve the people food. And that's the end. There they are again. Isn't that a lovely story? I think to me that story talks about even, CJ was always complaining about things, but his grandma always thought of ways to see the good in things. When it was rainy and he didn't like it, she said, oh, but it's so good for the trees to drink up. And I think that's a good way to look at the world. Try to find the goodness in the world, even when we're feeling bad or life is hard. I know a lot of families right now feel like life is hard, but maybe we can try to find the good things, like we get to be together with our families more, we get to be outside with our friends a little bit. There's lots to be grateful for. So I have a couple things to show you. Parents, this is kind of fun for Thanksgiving. This is a little handout Cindy at the library put together, Myths About Thanksgiving. If you want to get one of these, you can request these for curbside pickup. I also have a craft for kiddos to do. And you'll go to you can call us at the library and request the turkey craft. And you can also call the library to get books, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So this is a little turkey, and it says, I'm thankful for. Now, you can write things you're thankful for on the leaves, but also if you want to draw pictures of those things, this is a little book I've made for you to draw in. So it opens, and there's several pages for you to draw things you're grateful for. Okay? Then I have another thing called Gratitude Activities for Families. These are some ideas of things you can do as a family to celebrate the holiday, as well as to teach kids about gratitude. You can certainly request one of these too. So I'll tell you about how you get books these days. So the library closed last week due to the high numbers of infections in town, but we're offering something really fun. It's called the Surprise Book Bundles. And how it works is you call the Children's Library at 582-2404, and you say, I would like to request a bundle of books. And we ask you questions. How old are your kids? What are their interests? What do they like? What do they not like? And we put together a bag of books. You can choose how many you'd like. We can put in movies and audiobooks. And then you can come down to the library, usually within 24 hours, we'll have them ready. If not sooner, you come to the library and outside you call a number and we bring your books out. You can also request the craft and say, will you please throw in that craft with my, my book bundle and Thanksgiving activities? And we'll be happy to do that. So I hope you call us at the library. I hope you let us know if you're liking these story times. Feel free to comment in this post down below, or you can always call us at the library too. We love to hear from families, and we'd love to know what we can do to support you during this time. Thanks so much.